Hello, everybody. It's 10 o'clock this evening. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you right now, tracking our winter weather possibility going into tonight and, of course, for tomorrow morning. Not much of anything going on right now of note, but we do already have some rain and even a little bit of sleet mixing in across the area. I'm here with you right now in two places, trying something a little bit different. We're live on WFMY Plus here, which of course is the free app you can download to your TV and watch us anytime and get bonus coverage like this during weather events. We also stream the radar live as a nice feature for you as well. That's WFMY Plus. I'm also live on my Facebook page, so saying hello to some folks here in the chat. And if you wanted to ask any questions as we go along here, you can find me on Facebook and certainly go ahead and do that as well. So happy to have you along for the ride here. And we already are starting to see a little bit of precipitation falling from the sky. So let's get right to it. I'm going to pop up the live radar right now and let you see kind of what we're looking at around the region. So this is where we're standing right now. This is kind of the radar picture here. And if we do the wide view, I kind of like to show the wide view at first when we do a system like this because it shows you where it's coming from. But basically, we've seen this thing already pushing through Tennessee for a little while. And throughout the day today, it went through Memphis with just some rain. Then it went through Nashville, Tennessee. And they had some snowflakes that mixed in with the rainfall, but it didn't really amount to much of anything. So it was mostly just rain for them. For us, what's been interesting, and honestly, this is earlier than I expected, but we've seen the radar really fill in the gaps pretty nicely over just the last hour or so. So if I loop this back in time, you'll notice that we've started to see some rain pushing into parts of the area. And a lot of you are telling me, especially here in the Facebook chat, we've got Brenda and Lindsay and Curtis here and Kenneth. A lot of people are saying, like Brad here, he says he sees some sleet near Guilford College. Karen's got some sleet in Snow Camp. So a lot of people are doing, both of these things. You have a little bit of rain and a little bit of sleet. The reason that can happen sometimes, even with temperatures that are well above freezing. Right now, the temperature's, pretty warm. We're still around 40s outside. So we have a long way to go before we get anything wintry. But what you can get sometimes at the beginning of these events is that there's dry air near the surface. And we still have a good amount of dry air. Dew points are still in the 20s and 30s. When that dry air is in place, you can actually, as the rain falls down from the cloud, you can get what we call dynamic cooling. So that air is really just gobbling up and cooling down that raindrop a lot, enough so that it can sometimes freeze into these sleet pellets. So that's something that's going on. When we're seeing that happening, that sleet is usually pretty temporary. And then where you go from there is that you would see it turn into regular old rain. So I think as we go closer on to midnight, we're going to see more of a regular old rain settling in for much of the area. Now, farther north, if you're watching north of I-40, for example, I'm especially looking at you in Rockingham County, Stokes, Surrey, Caswell, along the Virginia state line. These are areas where you could be able to get some snow out of this. Now, to be blunt with you and honest, I don't like what I've seen today in the trends if you're a snow lover. I don't think it's been a good day for snow trends. It didn't work out that well in Tennessee so far. A lot of the computer models have done a couple things for us over the last day. They've had it be warmer. With the system coming in earlier, that cold air is not really in place early enough, so we're probably wasting some of this with rain rather than snow. That's a strike. Another strike is that with it moving faster, you get this kind of moving out too quickly. So by the time that you get the cold air here around 5, 6, 7 a.m., look how much it's drying up. That's not really what you want if you're trying to get some snow and enjoy things. This is not going to be one where you're making snow cream with the kids or sledding or building snowmen. It's just not that kind of storm. It's a brief little winter weather maker, and it's our appetizer of the winter season, I guess. But even still, if you get a light coating of snowfall on the roadways, timed up with the morning commute, that can be a mess. And I certainly think the remote decisions by the schools was probably a good call, and always best to be on the safe side. But don't be shocked if you're waking up to some pretty big disappointment if you wanted to take some pictures of your snowy Christmas decorations. That might just not be the move for tomorrow. Now, it's a miserable day of weather. Even with this stuff ending by around 9 in the morning or so, I mean, shoot, you're going to be stuck basically between like 32 35 degrees throughout the day tomorrow with clouds, sprinkles. It's not a nice day. It really isn't. So I'll play this back another time for you. This is that Futurecast model that we have. Snow and rain filling in the gaps through about 3 a.m. or so. That might be the peak of the event for us, really before sunrise is the peak of it. And then after that, it's kind of more spotty after sunrise. So there's just not a lot of moisture to work with, number one, and there's not a ton of cold air to work with either. And the moisture and the cold aren't syncing up quite as well as we thought that they would have a couple of days ago. So I'm not saying no one's going to get snow, but the snow chance is not what it looked like a couple of days ago. Again, we are live on Facebook as well as live here on WFMY Plus, kind of doing a twofer. So I'm going to go here and look at the comments and see what we have going on. Amy says she has some sleet coming down in North Ashboro. So does Emily in Trinity. Charlie, yeah, I think the Triad's lucky if we get about a half an inch. That seems about right to me. And a lot of people are reporting that sleet and some rainfall around the area. That's kind of what we're doing right now. So this map, what I'm trying to show you is who will see mostly just rain in these areas. So basically Asheboro, Lexington, even High Point, Snow Camp, Saxbahaw, Siler City, Salisbury, down to Charlotte, pretty much just rain down here. Farther north you go, better chance of having more snowfall, and then mix of sleet, snow, and rain from Winston-Salem, Greensboro, over to Burlington. So what could you see out of that snow? I did just update this map a little bit more, nudging northward. I know, I hate to do it. But it's just my opinion here. Kind of my thought here is what we're seeing. So I do think that we'll have basically a trace to a half an inch of snow from Winston to Greensboro to Burlington. Now, if you have a half an inch of snow on the roads, there are going to be a lot of wrecks. That's just the way that it works around here. So please be cautious and careful early tomorrow morning. That's just what I would recommend. Now, farther north you go, half an inch to 1 inch, maybe even 2. That's still possible from Mount Airy up to Martinsville, Virginia, Danville, Virginia, along the state line. Those are the areas that could cash in a little bit more than others. So something to keep in mind up that way. The snow models have really backed off a lot from where we were a couple of days ago as well. So you can see, you can kind of take your pick here of who's giving us what. But it just kind of goes to show you they've really decreased from where they were a little while ago. What else can I show you? We do have winter weather advisories in effect going into tonight. What that means, winter weather advisory is kind of the minor side of a winter storm warning. We don't have those. But this just means basically that some light winter weather is on the way. The impacts are probably a little less than they would be in a bigger major storm. This is not going to be a major storm. This is a minor winter event for our area, but still one that could cause some issues with slippery roads. So be careful tomorrow morning. Comments here on the Facebook side of things. Sherry's reporting some sleet in Franklinville. Appreciate that report. Boone, yeah, probably about an inch or 2. Curtis, yeah, a lot of the dry air could eat some of the moisture up. That's true. Timothy Glidden is moaning that we have not had a good snow event in about 7 years. And, you know, you're kind of right about that. That's the last time we got a really, really big one where there was about a foot of snow. You might remember 2018. That was a doozy, to say the least. Boy, was it a big one. Here's a live view of Nashville, Tennessee. Earlier, oh, actually, it's live. This is a live view. They did have some snow flying earlier tonight. Didn't really stick all that much, so mostly just a rainmaker for them. What else can I show you? The weather setup for this system, you know, it makes sense when you look at the map, but it's just not a perfect sync for us. The high pressure is not quite perfect as it was looking a couple of days ago. But still, you know, there's going to be some snow out of this. Hopefully, if you're up early in the morning, you're able to at least see some of those snowflakes flying a little bit from the sky. As the day goes on, we're still going to be stuck with the clouds. They're not going anywhere. So we will stay thick with the clouds and the cold air too. Those are things to keep in mind. And throughout the weekend, it's really still a cloudy and cold one. Cloudy and cold through Saturday, and I do see the weekend overall being chilly. but dry. There have been a couple of signals from time to time showing a system or two coming close to us Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Don't think those are going to pan out. Instead, I do think we'll have a pretty dry weekend of weather for our area. So something to keep in mind if you have plans, you're going anywhere. Festival of Lights, Greensboro tomorrow, Mebane Parade tomorrow night in Mebane. We've got the Greensboro Parade Saturday morning. All of those things should be okay, but you just have to bundle up accordingly for those events. Temperatures will be chilly. Let's get back to the weather, time this thing out for you again and take some of your questions on Facebook. Amy wants to know, do I think we'll get a big one this year? I don't know that we'll get a big one. I would consider a big snow to be like 6 inches or more. I don't really think we'll get one of those, but I do think we'll have a couple we'll have some real snow events, I would expect. 2, 3, 4 inches every now and then. That's possible. My forecast for the winter season for us was to have near average snowfall. Our average snowfall is about 7 to 8 inches throughout a year. So I think we have a good chance to get that with the way the climate is looking this year. Again, maybe not so much tonight because trace to a half an inch isn't all that impressive, right? But hey, it might be something for you. Myrtle Beach, Julia, they'll just get some rain. And they could have a little bit more rain this weekend as well. Taylor wants to know, could the radar filling in earlier cool the air quicker than expected? That's a good possibility, Taylor, and we could watch that happen over the next few hours, and that could be something that we see. So that's something to keep in mind over the next little bit. So I'm interested to see how that impacts it as well. I just don't know the answer just yet, so we'll have to see. Back to the live radar, if you're just joining us, we are tracking the system starting a little bit earlier than anticipated. This probably won't change the forecast. Oops, hold on. You want to see that, not me. This won't change it all that much around the area, but we are already getting some of this to fall from the sky, and it is hitting the ground too. Farther north, we see maybe this is filling in some mixing, but it's not snowing. That's just not happening right now. Later on tonight, it's possible, but not just yet. Let's take a look at the cameras up in Boone, by the way, though. This is live right now in Boone. Hard to tell here, but it does look like it's snowing, doesn't it? So if we look in the street lights here, right about there, looks to be some light snowfall. So it looks like the game has begun up in Boone. Joseph is in Boone. He says a sleet snow mix. Blowing Rock right now still looks mostly dry, doesn't it? But the camera might be frozen a little. Hard to make out from this image. If anything is happening, it's certainly quite light up there. But we'll be keeping an eye on those as we go throughout the nighttime hours for sure. Hello, Christian. Good to see you. Again, we're live on WFMY Plus for about 2 more minutes and still doing a little Facebook video here just to recap the forecast for you. It's a quick moving system. It's kind of starting right now. It'll be ending. I got to edit this too. It'll end way before lunchtime. This should be ending mostly by around 9 to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. The rain snow line is trending farther north. Most of us I-40 and south will be just rainfall. There is a chance of some snow, of course, in parts of northern Guilford, northern Forsyth, northern Alamance, and then up closer to Rockingham and Stokes, you'll get some snow as well. But just watching for that chance of some slick travel.